I have no idea what's happening here.
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Haslab Omega Prime Ultra Magnus. So here we are, and there he is, and we solved the box in the last episode. It's a beautiful box, wonderful box. We're gonna take this, put this off to the side, and let's get down to some Magnusing. Then, moving right along, here we have Ultra Magnus, the second component of Omega Prime, and here he is in his alt mode. He is packed in alt mode, yay! But yes, a lovely representation of Magnus as he appeared in the 2001 Robots in Disguise series, and I have him here on the base, just so you can see what it looks like. But we're going to take this and put this off to the side, and we will take a closer look at Magnus. Take a look at him here. So right up front, we got a lot of chrome going on here. We got gold chrome for the Autobot symbol, some nice blue chrome. We got some silver chrome, just all kinds of chromage going on there. With that front bumper section, silver paint. You got the blue. You got the transclearance, windshields and windows. These windows are painted, but the rest of them are done. That transparent plastic. Then we got the silver rims. Some nice details going on. There is the back, with some nice paint apps there. Now we have the top. Of course, we have blue bolts. We'll talk more about blue bolts in a bit, but there is the top. There is the bottom. It does roll, as rolling things should. Hooray for rolling. And for comparison, here it is with 86 Optimus Prime. And again, this is just to give you a sense of the size here. And here he is with MP44. And here he is with the original RID Ultra Magnus. So you can see how this works out. And in this case, the original seems to be a little bit bigger than the Haslab version. And yes, mine is very discolored, but the chrome's like 5 different colors also. But hey, you know. Age, it happens, but just so you can see them side by side and see how that works out. And you can see you can get some different detailing going down the sides here. Different molding going on. So they did change up the design a bit between the two. So, there you go. So now let's talk about a totally new thing that was introduced to this set, and that is blue bolts. And what Hasbro did is they took this chunk of weaponry, which before was just a chunk of weaponry, and they made it its own transformable character. So we get a new character in this set. And this is pretty cool. So on the original, these missiles could fire. They were spring-loaded, but these are not. They just peg right in. But the tips are Blush compatible. These weapons are also Blush compatible. We'll do the blushing later. Don't worry, we'll do the blushing later. Lots of blushing. But you're gonna see a little targeting sight right there, done in transparent blue. But yeah, pretty cool. This little bit right here is on a hinge. Don't know why, but they made it move. But hey, things you can do if you want to do it. But yeah. Very cool that they made this a transformable character. So now we're going to transform her. So let's get down to it, shall we? We got to do the spin. All right, so to transform her, we need to remove everything. So basically, this is a totally new weaponizer. So in weaponizer form, we have to take it apart to transform it. So remove all that. And then you're going to open up these sections here. Extend this down. This will be the legs. You want to rotate them. Rotate the waist 180. Bring down her toesies. And then we're going to just open up this panel back here so we can flip out her head. We can close that up. Close that up. You bring the arms. You have to hold this peg in place because if you don't, it'll push all the way in. So you have to kind of hold this in place. It's a bit annoying, but it doesn't require too much effort. So peg that in right there, and little missiles will just tab onto our back, like so. And there you have blue bolts in her robot mode. And oops, And of course, weaponizer, so it's meant to come apart. It's okay. Well, there she is in her robot mode. And again, very cool that they decided to take, this and make a whole new character out of it. Like, I really dig that. That's really cool. It just adds to the play value. But let's get in close here so we can take a look. That's the noggin. There's the noggin. A nice head sculpt there. Got the red, yellow for the eyes. Got some different shades of blue going on there. Overall, pretty neat. Little butt there. Big old weapons for hands. But articulation-wise, the head's on a ball joint. You can do some wiggly-waggly, up, down, rotation, all that good stuff. Arms can do a full 360. Can't move in and out. She can hit herself in the head with her own shoulders. Arms can rotate. Over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. I guess you can count this as wrist rotation. These do rotate. These red pieces rotate also. You got waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far, back, that far, outward. Full splits, and then some. Really can do all kinds of splits. You got thigh rotation. Again, weaponizer. It's supposed to fall apart. Not fall apart, but it's supposed to come apart. This is the nature of weaponizers. But thigh rotation, pretty much full range of movement there at the knee, just due to transformation. And as far as the feet, you do actually have a toe joint in there, and you have a little bit of ankle tiltage. For quick comparison, here she is with 86 Prime. Again, just so you can get a sense of the size of her, and she's pretty much like deluxe size, really. And here she is with the original. There, yay. Now back to Magnus, of course. Magnus is a car carrier, so you can carry cars. So you can open up these sections here. Have a little ramp. You can swing these out if you want to. They can just drop all this down to make a ramp that goes up to the top level. But you can take cars, put cars in there, close it up, take cars, put it up top. Things you can do, stuff, things, whatever you want. So that is basically it for the alt mode, and I think it looks quite good. And one thing I have to point out, I was today years old when I realized that Magnus has 4 windshield wipers. I did not realize that. The original has it too. I literally just noticed this. 4 windshield wipers. Anyway. Little details you find out years and years later. But anyway, let's get down to transformation, shall we? Good spin. Let's get down to it. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to open up these panels here and just bring those out. Now we're going to come back here. We're going to undo these sections. They are tabbed into the sides as well. So just pop all this up, bring all this up and over. They'll just clip in right there. Then you want to flip them over, and you want to take these sections here, the wheel sections, and just rotate them up. They lock in to the feet there, and once you've done that, you can just separate the two halves. So now we're going to work on the back section here, and this will be the legs. So we just want to split this in half. And what we're going to do here is we're going to unpeg this section, bring that back, take this, swing it around to the outside, then take this and just collapse this all the way down. Now you want to undo the section here. You want to take this panel and just bring it out. You can grab this section and you want to slide it down, bring it back, and slide it back in. Now on the original figure, you can bring this forward. That's the way it looks on the original figure, but the instructions want you to just bring it back to its original position, but that's a case of do what you want, your toy display however you wish. But once we've done that, we're going to take all this and rotate it back, and that'll plug in right there. Bring that up, and that will plug in right there. Then we come here, flip out the thigh and half of his crotch, rotate that down, and there we have a leg all done. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And once you have both legs done, you just take the crotch and clip it together. And there you have his lower body all done. So now for the cab, we're going to undo these side sections here and swing all this up over the windshield, and then just tab that back in at this position. And then going to take these, we're going to split them, and just kind of fan them out, just to get them out of the way. You want to come here, undo these sections that are tabbed onto the arms. So untab, and get that freed up. And now we're just going to pull this section out, because this section is plugged onto the forearms here. So undo all that, and then you can take this and just swing this up. Now you can take these wheels and just rotate them up into the forearms. You can straighten out the arms, and you're just going to bring the arms back, and there'll be a little tab slot connection that happens right there. And then you can take the forearm and rotate it so those wheels are on the outside. Second verse is like the first. Bring that back, tab that in, rotate that arm, and you got that done. So now for the backpack, we want to take these wings and collapse them down, and there is a post-port connection that'll happen, and these are super tight. There we go. Snap those down and get that plugged in. Do the same thing on the other side. These are really tight. Oh, there we go. Get that snapped in. There you go. So it's looking like that. So now you want to take all this, you want to swing this around, and we have multiple hinges to work with here. So what's going to happen is you want to collapse this down. These panels are going to end up sitting over these tabs. There's a little slot underneath. So basically, once you get this to where these sections will tab in, you're good to go. And then you bring these down, they'll go over these tabs here to finish locking all of that in place, and tab slot connection right there for the backpack itself. Once you get this in place, it kind of situates that for you. There you go. There you have the backpack all done. So a couple more things to do here. We want to take this panel and just bring that down. We want to open up the chest panel, bring this section up with the head, rotate the head out, and then just close all this back up. We can take his little hands here and just extend those down, pull those down, and the upper body is all ready to go. And now it's just a simple case of taking the lower body and sliding it under the upper body. And there you go. There you have Ultra Magnus in his robot mode. And yeah, it's RID Ultra Magnus. He is a super weird looking robot, man. Super weird looking robots. But still, very indicative of how he looked in the 2001 Robots in Disguise series. But yeah, still a very weird looking robot. I mean, look, we've all at times complained about proportions with Transformers. You know, the arms are too long, the legs are too short, blah 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 blah. I feel the need to say, you know, that the next time any of us, myself included, the next time any of us feel the need to complain about proportions, we need to remember that this exists. Yeah. I mean, the most disproportionate robot I've ever seen in my life. I mean, his crotch starts under his chest. His legs are like 90% shin. He has huge forearms, tiny hands, tiny head, big chest. It's just, there's nothing here that really, the math just doesn't math with this guy. But you know, it's okay. It's all right. RID Ultra Magnus is basically the textbook definition of suffering for a gimmick, but you know what? It's okay. We love him anyway. We love him anyway. You're still a good boy. Such a good boy. But let's get in closer so we can take a look, not at that Magnus of a crotch, but the Magnus noggin there. Oh my lord. But there is the head sculpt. That's a nice head sculpt. Got those eyes there, done in a nice actually not transparent gold, I'm sorry. They're done in a gold chrome. And you got the Autobot symbol there on his forehead, done in gold paints. And we got some nice silvers, a little metallic blue. And again, you know, the crotch starts right under, you know, that's, I mean, look at the rest of his body. Like this, yeah. Anyway, his big old Popeye forearms. Again, nice paint details there on his kneecaps and his shins that just keep going and going and going. And his tiny feet and little tiny toes. Although he did give him some nice big heel spurs. So, you know, it makes him a lot more stable. Of course, his legs are totally hollow. But there's a little something we can do about this. And the backpack. It's got big old wings. So yeah, Magnus. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? I'm gonna tell ya. So the head is on a ball joint. You got some wiggly-waggly. You can look up a good bit. Can't look down. Head can do a full 360. The arms can do a full 360. Just watch out for the wings. You do have inward and outward movement. You got bicep rotation. You have 90 degrees of bend there at the elbow. His elbows are way too high, but the arms are too short, so it really doesn't, it just, yeah. Anyway, the wrists can rotate. They can move back if you need them to. You have opposable hands. Thumb moves up and down. 4 fingers, one piece. They can move in and out. Due to the way it comes together, there's no waist joint, but it can move his legs forward that far, back, not really far at all. That's all that gets in the way. Outward, you can do the full splits. He does have thigh rotation. He does have nice deep knee bend, though. He's got that going for him. And as far as the feet, there is no up. You can move the heel down if you needed to, so to support any posing. No rotation, but you do get some ankle tiltage. Now, there's quite a bit that we can do with our friend Blue Bolts here, so we can first take these sections off. Close this up. We can open these up just so we can bring the legs out and rotate them down. We can close them back up, and we'll have this right here. And we can take these and plug them onto its forearms. And again, this is kind of a pain in the butt to do because you're pushing on something that's on a hinge. There we go. Put that back together, and then this red piece serves as a handle. So these can become handheld weapons. And then we can take this, and this will just slide in. There's little notches for her to just slide right into. That just becomes like a little missile backpack. And you can have that configuration going on. And another thing we can do is he can hold this entire emplacement here. Now, the easiest way I found to do this is to remove these pieces and plug these in first. So you want to rotate these sections. So they're sitting like that. There's a post back here. There are 2 ports under his arms. You want to plug it into the top ports. So just plug one in there, and then rotate that. Plug the other one on the other side. Get that plugged in, nice and snug, and then you're going to bring his arms up. You have to bring them out, and you can see there's a post on his thumb that's going to go into a port right here on this red piece. So you just want to bring his arm up like that, and then just get that thumb in there. So he's doing that. Do the same thing on the other side. And then we can bring all this in. You do want to flip this bit up. That's why that moves, because you need it for clearance. And you just take this and plug it back in on either side. And there you go. You got that going on. And all of these are Blush compatible. Yes, they are Blush compatible. Oh, yeah. We're going to do some blution now. We're going to do some blution. We're going to do all kinds of blution. We can plug one in there. I don't know if these will fit. I don't know if we have enough room. Do we? Do we? Oh, we do, just barely. Just barely. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And we can do a big old Magnus Blush. Oh, the best kind of blush. Oh, we can barely handle all the blushing power. Oh. And the last thing we can do is we can completely store Blue Bolts in Ultra Magnus. And to do that, we basically just have to rip her apart here. So we need to remove the missiles, undo these, and we need to rip off the legs. Rip off the legs. You just want to bring these out to the side, so they're like that. Bring these out to the side. Close that up. Take the stumps here. Rotate those up, and all of that is ready to go. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take these leg pieces here, and there's a port here, there's a post here, and it's going to go into this post here, that port there. So you do the side one first. So you get that pegged in, and then plug that in. So it is sitting like that. And then you're going to bring in these, and they're going to plug into this port right here on the side. like so, and then you take the missile, and then we'll just plug in to this port right there. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And there you have all of that stored there. And, you know, it adds a little bit of meat to his legs. It makes use of all that empty space. So, hey, I appreciate it. And with the main body here, what you're going to do is you're going to open this panel up. And, oh, just to show off, there's also a little matrix in there that can be removed if you want. But you got this post that will go into this port right there. And you just take that and plug it in. If I can find the ports. There it is. There you go. Then you just collapse that down, close all that back up, and again, you can see, fills things in there a little bit. But there you have blue bolts completely stored in Ultra Magnus. Hooray for storage! Now, as far as the stand goes, you're going to take this section and you're going to plug it in this way. So just slide that in, and we're going to bring in the adapter, and this is going to plug in right here. So you got it looking like that, and these two posts are going to go into these two ports right back here in this panel. So you just get that lined up, and just get that pushed on. Not the easiest thing to do because you're kind of doing it blind. There we go. Get that plugged in. And there you have Magnus on the displayage. Hooray for displayage. So there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with 86 Prime. With MP44. With Legacy Armada Prime. Again, just can get a sense of scale here. And here he is with the original RID Magnus. You can see how they look together, and they both look weird. They both look very weird. Again, just the weirdest looking robot ever. And here he is with Prime. So we can see the duo together. We'll bring in blue bolts. So you can see how the trio looks together, and they all look quite good together. So there you go. So there you have the Haslab Ultra Magnus, and yeah, good looking update here for the character. The alt mode looks great. No complaints there. The robot mode, I mean, it's RID Ultra Magnus. It's just a weird looking bot, but that's not his fault. That's not his fault. We can't hold that against him. But everything works well, no issues that I found with my copy anyway. I love the incorporation of blue bolts. I love that we get like an all-new weaponizer in this set. Makes use of that, you know, chunk of weaponry and actually makes it its own character, and I really appreciate that. It just adds to the overall play value, and I will not complain about more play value. A very nice update to this big weird boy, so there you go! So when next we visit this set, we will take Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime and combine them to form Omega Prime. So stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much it. So as always, don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal. Follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Haslab Omega Prime Ultra Magnus. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. Magnus! Magnus! What is it, Prime? I have a very important question for you. Okay, go ahead. So, did you trade in the giant shoulder pads for giant legs? Is that how it works? Just wondering. Yeah. Says the king of overcompensation, but whatever. Overcompensation? Excuse me, I am just bursting with awesome.